Okay, hey, let me tell you a little bit about our next presenter. Joanne is a way shower. She has been a college teacher, she has multiple degrees, and she's also been a student of Ascended Masters and Spiritual Pathways for over 20 years. Now, she can apply this wisdom and knowledge in her daily life, and she teaches from direct experience as also documented and evidenced in her books and life coaching. It is her passion and her joy to offer healing with horses on her ranch near Mount Shasta and to live her vision of new earth. Wow, listen to that. To live her vision of new earth. Imagine the joy to share the vision and experience of new earth qualities as she inspires others to experience greater joy. And some of you are doing that too. I know. Inspiring others to greater joy and happiness and love and peace in their own lives through consciousness coaching. So, creator connection attunements and spiritual home decorating consultants. This woman has a whole lot of facets, and she is the author of the books New Earth, Bringing It Home, and When I Was a Child, as given by the Cosmic Christ. Joanne Tucker's website is joyrisingranch.com. Well, Joanne, I'm excited to hear what you're bringing today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I think we'll begin with Saint Germain once said that to say the words Kuan Yin creates a geometry which creates a bridge to the divine feminine. So I'm going to ask everybody right now to participate in saying those words, Kuan Yin, Master of Compassion. We'll say it 18 times. So just go with me and we'll get started. Kuan Yin, 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 and feel the silence. Take a deep breath. Appreciate Divine Mother. Many years ago, I had this vision that I wanted to create my home to be a temple of new earth. And I put it on the back burner because it just didn't look like one or feel like one. And I didn't quite feel ready for it yet either. So I was nudged, you might say, by, of all things, bed bugs. And I had to throw out a whole lot of furniture. And it was time to change. It was time to change the whole place. It was also time to change from within, because I realized these bed bugs were an outer picturing of something in me. And it was a judgment, a lot of judgment, looping judgment that I just could not get rid of. So I worked on that as well, the inner as well as the outer. And if indeed you also want to create a home, create your home to be a temple of new earth or a sanctuary of new earth, then both the inner and the outer have to be worked on, but more the inner than the outer. You might not need to change much, but just create more beauty. So anyway, that's how that all got started. Now, one of the rays that I worked with was the green ray, and I used the green ray in all my rooms. So not the green ray, but I used the master rays in all my rooms. But the way it came about was I had a mini stroke, a little stroke, and it was a transient ischemic attack. It affected my whole right side, so it wasn't too minor, but and it still does. But anyway, three days or 4 days later, I had a session with Saint Germain, and I started complaining about my neighbor, and full of judgment still again about somebody else this time because it was a pattern. And he said, "Drop the story. You're here to learn compassion." So that kind of startled me, but was right. He has lots of compassion, but pity is not what he does. So I felt, with his help, I felt compassion instead of judgment. And we all have to change that judgment of whatever it is into something higher. To feel that the person we're judging is having their own problems, and to feel compassion for that. We're here to learn compassion. And until we do, we're not ready for the next step. So I just wanted to tell that little story to start out with. I use the green ray. I'm going to put screen sharing on for a moment. All right. The green ray is the healing ray. And actually, while the stroke was beginning, I felt it, and I called in the green ray of healing, and I called in Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael for help. And I think that was part of what pulled me through. So in one of my rooms, I said I used the rays in each of the rooms. So in my dining room, I used the green ray and also the gold ray, which was very important to me at the time. And still is, of course, since we're all in the resurrection process. That gold ray is a resurrection ray. But just to give you an idea, I found two Papa San chairs that had both green and gold in it, and it was just really, really wonderful to create with these things, and because Creator creates, right? So anyway, let's put this back. We'll go back to it later. Stop share. All right. I'm kind of new to using PowerPoint, and I'm using my left hand because my right hand had an accident. So anyway, what I want to do before I go into more of the decorating, and that's sort of, I'll save that for the last, is new earth, a new earth, the qualities of love, joy, peace, compassion, harmony, balance, reverence for all life. These are all qualities of new earth. So we need to ask ourselves, if we want to move to that level, what do I still need to change? But one of the things that we think of maybe as some distant process is oneness with Creator. So I want to give you a few activations, a few exercises that you might be able to do. They're very simple to connect with Creator and literally feel that oneness. You may not, oh, my dog. Yes.
The horses got loose.
Yeah. My horses just got loose. They're running around the yard. The dog is barking. So it'll be what it'll be.
I'll see if I can get them in my hand.
You don't have to get the horses in, just make Daisy be quiet somehow.
I don't know how to do
Mhm.
that.
So, anyways.
Maybe the speaker in the room.
All right, that'll do it. So she's going to take the dog in the room with her, and hopefully that'll make her be quiet.
We can hold.
All right. So the first one I want to share with you was something that Yeshua taught. And he said that when he was in embodiment, he sometimes, got discouraged, and he would then he would let go of his ego concerns, and he would fall into God. So let's ask Yeshua right now to help us for the moment. It's just surrender. Just try to let everything go and kind of fall backwards into God. So just try a moment. It might not work for everybody just straight off, but it's something you can use perhaps in the future if it doesn't work now. So just let go and fall backwards into God. I don't know if anybody felt anything, but when I do that, I feel that falling backwards is like falling backwards through your heart, and there's an upwelling that comes into your heart that feels very divine. So, and it makes you feel more peaceful. Everything else just kind of becomes less important. So that's one method. Another one is to imagine a candle in front of you. And imagine, it's even better to have a real candle, but right now we'll just use our imagination. So imagine a candle in front of you. And we are going to call the consciousness and energy of Creator into this candle. So I call the consciousness of energy and Creator into this candle that we have in front of us. And I ask for assistance from all the light beings to help each person do this. So acknowledge and experience Creator's consciousness and energy coming into the candle. Now imagine a flame in your own heart. Just imagine it. Close your eyes and imagine it in your heart center. So now allow the outside candle to merge with the inside candle. Allow them to just come together. Creator's consciousness and energy merging with your flame. When I did that, it was the first time I ever felt true oneness. I mean, I really felt it. I hope you do too. All right. Another practice is to look at the space. Look at in your room, in the space between two objects. Just find two objects and just see the space between. And see with the eyes of your heart. Imagine your heart has eyes and you're looking at this space with the eyes of your heart and feeling this space with the eyes of your heart. And the space seems filled with energy, with love, with Creator, with quantum space. So feel that love and feel it all around you, because the truth is that everything and all the space around you is filled with love. It's not empty. It's not inactive. It's not just some air molecules. It's filled with love. It's filled with Creator, with the quantum field. I'll give you a moment to experience that. All right. So you can try that some more on your own. And once when I was just walking up the road in front of my house, I decided, well, I'd heard, many times I had it in my head that everything is an aspect of God, everything. So I thought, well, that's an intellectual concept. So why don't I make it real? So I shifted my view, I shifted my vision and my intention. I intended to experience that, the divinity in the trees around me. And as I walked up the street, I suddenly felt the trees just they were full of light and love. And it just, I just felt so wonderful and peaceful and so connected with nature and with everything. It just by being connected to the trees and having that experience. So sometimes we just need to shift our vision, to shift our intention to seeing the oneness, to experiencing the oneness with all things, with all life. And sometimes that may be all it takes, just a change of intention, a desire to experience that oneness, and it'll happen. And so you can try that on a walk sometime, or just in front of one tree, and just shift your intention. Say, I want to see with my heart. I want to feel with my heart this oneness in reality, not just as a concept in my head. So, another thing that we need to experience to be ready for New Earth, to be on New Earth, is harmony in our relationships. And Saint Germain has said once that to do that, we need to cease arguing. Absolutely no buts, no arguing, end of story. Cease arguing. And I know we all like to be right and, have our point of view accepted, but right now is the time to drop it. Cease arguing. So you can be on the lookout for your own interactions with people, and when you start arguing or feel like you want to defend something, just let it go, because that's what we need to do right now to create harmony. Cease arguing. Another thing that we need to change, perhaps, is our desire to control anything, to control things. Some people have more of a control issue than others. And for me, it was like dishes in the dishwasher. I wanted them a certain way. And and no one ever put them in that way. I had to really let go of my dishwasher obsession to be in harmony. That's just one silly example, but another example would be when my 2 healing horses were with a person. He was from India, and he'd been working with them for Honey and Happy, Doc Happy. He'd been working with them for a while, and they were they'd changed places several times, and they were standing on either side of him, and he had his arms on both their necks. And all of a sudden, and I was wondering, well, they suddenly walked away 2 different directions. They just split and walked in 2 different directions. And I was worried that, he's going to think he's not gotten, the attention he needed or the right healing, or my horse has just abandoned him. He's going to feel abandoned. And I wanted to rush in and do something and control the situation. But thankfully, I let it be and held my breath and just let him finish up his experience. It seemed when they walked away, there was a finishing point, and then he gave them some carrots, and which I gave him to give him, and was done. And I asked later, after, as he came out of the session, what happened there? What did you experience? And he said, the minute they both walked away from me, a white light came in through my head and into my whole body. I have not experienced that since I was in ceremony as a child. So if I had run in and interfered at that point, it would not have been helpful. So that's an example of letting go of control. All right. Okay. I'm going to go back to my share screen. Oh dear, it's gone. Where is it? All right. Well, hang on a second. Can I move this? All right. Oh, here, well, there's desktop. I'm getting it up. I'm getting it up. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So here we go. I hope you can see this now.
Yes, it's up. Thank you.
It is good. Now, where is it? Ah. First time I've done PowerPoint or screen sharing.
It's underneath.
Underneath. It's not on my screen. I'm gonna stop share for a moment. Okay, and start again. Yeah, there we go. No, that's not it. Here it is. Okay,
There we are. It's up.
it's up. All right. So as I said, I often in most of my rooms, especially my main rooms, I used the color rays as my basic design, using accents and things to represent the color rays and to remind me of the color rays. And in creating our own New Earth sanctuary, you can do it any way you want, but this just was one of the things I chose. So just to give you an idea, I had this, at first I used the green ray, and I told you about that. And in the green room and the dining room and the living room are kind of an open floor plan. So there was kind of a green and gold room. So one wonderful thing that happened was I was looking online for a rug, a gold rug, and then a voice said inside of me, look up Flower of Life. It hadn't even occurred to me. And Flower of Life rug. And I did, and this beautiful rug appeared first thing. And I bought it. It was from Etsy, and represents, of course, the balance and harmony and new birth, all the things that the Flower of Life represents. So it was wonderful to have that in my house. And there's the Buddha sitting in front of the fireplace that doesn't work. And he represents the divine masculine, very steady, and is giving a blessing. Okay. And there's the gold ray room. I have a number of gold things in it. A gold brocade tapestry. These are little cranes, just ready to take off in flight. This basket used to be a laundry basket, and it became a plant holder. And it also, if you see here, I used space. I wanted to stop the angles, like in Feng Shui, you make the curves out of the angles of the room. And I used this this little screen and that to do that. And they're also both gold. So I was just getting the gold theme in, and then the lights and so forth. So it just gave me a lot of pleasure to make this, gold room. and you can do whatever you want, but this is what, you know, made me happy. So now this fractal of creator, when I first saw this crop circle, you know, I read about the Mandelbrot set, and the Mandelbrot set is a mathematical equation that describes fractals, and everything in it seems to be a fractal of creator, a fractal of some central source. And this is the message they were trying to get across. And it was the first time I thought, okay, so creator is a central sun, perhaps, and all these suns are whirling off of it, all these new creations and new ones and new ones and new ones. Everything is a fractal of creator. I am a fractal of creator. Oh boy. And this was a big realization for me back in the 90s. So I decided to make a rug out of this. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to make, it's possible to use a photo, send a photo in to the people who made the Flower of Life rug, and have them make another rug for me out of these fractals, this crop circle. And that'll be in this room right about there. And but this concept of being a fractal of creator, a child of creator, image of creator, we're all the same, and we're so much more than our bodies, of course, and we are this sun, we are this light. How wonderful to be another sun. So you can experience that bit. Okay. This is my blue room. And unfortunately, the unicorn got cropped on PowerPoint somehow, but it was a much bigger picture. Maybe I can make it go up a little. Well, let's see what happens. Yeah, not much. So unicorns were a very important part of my life because I had been shopping in Walmart of all places when I found this beautiful tapestry. It only cost $10. It's just, a throw from Walmart, but I just immediately gravitated towards it because Saint Germain had told me that a unicorn was sharing Happy's body, my horse's body, the healing horse, and she was an elder among the unicorns, and unicorns themselves live in the seventh dimension and angelic realms, and so this was all very new for me, and it just filled my heart to have this hanging here. And I found this couch at a yard sale for just $60, and this rug. This is a cross here. It doesn't show the whole rug, but it's the representative of the merging of spirit and matter. So all of these things that had meaning for me, I put in my home, and they all had spiritual meaning as well as functional meaning. And this was a picture of Mount Shasta that had been at a store in Mount Shasta. And I'd had a guy with me that day who I'd had coffee with. And I said, boy, that's a beautiful picture of Mount Shasta. And a few weeks later, it appeared in my laundry room. And this guy had bought it for me. He was a gardener. He helped me with my garden, but he didn't really need the money. So he was used it. So the violet ray and the pink ray both wound up in my bedroom. So the violet ray, you've heard quite a bit of talk about during this Wesak seminar. And there's something more I want to say about it, but first I'll show you. Here I have Mother Mary in her beautiful pink, and it doesn't show up very well in the picture, but she's really beautiful. And this is the 5th dimensional solar violet ray. And that's from Era of Peace. And as you can see, I have, let's see if I can put this up a little bit. Nah, it doesn't work. Pink, violet in my in my bedspread on my bed. And right here, you can't see it, but it's a plump, cute little unicorn that's all white with pink mane and tail. And it didn't show up on this picture because it got cropped, but that was also a unicorn, experience. I was walking through Walmart and it nearly fell off the shelf into my hands. And I hadn't wanted a unicorn. I'd never thought of having a unicorn toy like that. But all of a sudden I wanted my inner child just wanted it. And I bought it and walked out of the store so happy. We'll come back to this picture. Now, we can't, when we're creating our new earth home, forget the bathroom. And I put this angel in one of my bathrooms. It was a little humorous. It looked like she was sitting down having experience, on the pot, and it just gave me a kick to do that. But in our bathrooms, even when we're, doing our business there, we're to stay conscious. It's a time to be conscious and to revel in our bodies. So this bathroom angel just shows so much light coming in, just shows ecstasy and full presence in her body. And this also got cropped. This was a picture of Mother Mary holding a bouquet of roses. And the bouquet of roses was called by the artist, so the souls of humanity. And she was looking at them with so much love. And so I put this on my altar in one of my bathrooms. It's one of the things on my altar. It's just one little corner of it there. Because whenever I'm sitting on the toilet, I look at that picture and I think, oh man, I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling this love and compassion for the souls of humanity. And so that's a everyday reminder. That's by an artist named Avalee. And was it? Is it Avalee? Yeah. And it's available at the Stargate Experience Incorporated. She was at a Stargate workshop, had never ever painted a picture before, never painted at all, and went home and did this beautiful painting, which you can't see all of, unfortunately, but just to give you a little background. Okay. Now, the violet flame. So often, when we use the violet flame to clear things, we're in judgment. Well, this is garbage. I got to get rid of it, or got to transmute it. And Saint Germain said that there is a new frequency in the violet flame. The violet flame is the flame of already of transmutation and forgiveness. So when we're using the violet flame, we're forgiving any harm that may have come from whatever we are transmuting. in ourselves and others. But in this case, it also contains tenderness. Think of that, tenderness. How does tenderness feel to you? Feel it for a moment. So, what I would like you all to participate in right now is to pretend you're looking down at the earth from some distance in space and sending the violet flame to the whole earth and everything on it with tenderness. So get above the earth, look with the eyes of your heart, and send the violet flame to the earth and surround the earth and then fill the earth and every being on it with this violet flame of tenderness. That feels different, doesn't it, from the usual violet flame we send. So remember, when you're transmuting energy with a violet flame, add tenderness when you do it now, because that's a higher vibration. All right. So overall, the whole theme of creating a sanctuary of new earth, that's bringing it home, bringing it down to earth. This whole heady concept of new earth and high vibrations, and let's make it real. Let's bring it home. Let's live it. Let's put it in our homes and be it in our homes. And let our homes be an oasis of love and harmony and peace and joy and reverence for all life, oneness with all life, oneness with Creator. That's what I want to inspire you all to do and to be. And so there it is. I thank you all very much for listening. And I hope you just have some inspiration, and we'll give it a go, give it a try. Bring it home. Make it real. Right here, right now. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Joy Ann Tucker. Enjoy. Thank you, Joy Ann Tucker, for bringing your gifted way of bringing concepts to the present, shifting vision to oneness. I love that you brought in tenderness with the violet flame, which is something I have neglected. And I love your ideas for a 5D sanctuary, because soon I'll have a new home. Yay, great ideas. Okay. Here I am. Hi. Welcome back. We have more joy today. This time we have Joy Taylor with us presenting. How exciting. She's an ordained priestess, that too. I prefer goddess to princess, though. She's an ordained priestess, a truth teller, and artist of life. As a companion guide in awakening, she honors the principles of nature and everyone's innate ability to heal and to create the life they love. She's a founder of A Soul Inspired Life, which is a company dedicated to the evolution of consciousness. This is our kind of gal, isn't she? The author of #1 Amazon best-selling book, Inspired, and creator of the Energy, Intuition, and Awakening course. Joy's diverse background includes serving as an intuitive healer, a somatic therapist, corporate trainer, college level business faculty, and as a director of the Women's Business Center in Northern California. As a successful entrepreneur and business intuitive, she has helped thousands of professionals, healers, practitioners, coaches, and trainers to build profitable, purposeful businesses. In 2019, Joy developed the Business Soul Map, capital MAP, a visual framework that creates clarity and momentum for leaders living on purpose and working in alignment with their visions and values. Her website is asoulinspiredlife.com. And update for May, she also has a writing circle for women starting May 25th, and weekly body tune-ups in Mount Shasta. So check out Joy Taylor then. Joy, it's a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Beverly, thank you. And I must say, you are so natural and just sincere in the way that you read that and introduced me. And I'm grateful to be here, and I see some friends in the mix, and I'm sure there'll be some people listening to the recording. So yeah, it's my pleasure to be here on this full moon in Mount Shasta, in this beautiful vortex with all of you, and sharing some insights and specifically practical ways that we can live more spiritual lives. And I know a lot of us do that day in, day out. Our lives are very ceremonial and full of ritual and routines and self-care. And in some ways, maybe we can up it just a little bit more. And that's what I hope to do with us today. But I want to start with a little bit of a grounding exercise. And the reason I'm starting with grounding is, well, there's a million reasons why we're starting with grounding. One, we are bringing in such high frequency right now on the planet. And in my experience, as well as in my interviewing many intuitives and healers and psychics, which is something I have recently been doing a lot of. I got to co-host a Shift Network Summit on psychic abilities, and in that process, over and over and over again, how do you grow your intuition? What's most important? And all of these panels of experts, grounding, grounding, grounding. So I'm going to start with grounding, and this might be a different grounding than you've done before, because I'm going to invite us to ground to Gaia. And Michaela mentioned something similar to this, and I'm curious, Michaela, let's talk after our Wesak event. But the idea of connecting in with the consciousness of planet Earth. So when I use the word Gaia, I am describing Earth consciousness. When I use the word Earth, I'm talking about the planet, I'm talking about nature, I'm talking about the soil. And let me tell you, I love to earth. I love to put my bare feet on the Mount Shasta soil, and I love to swim in Lake Siskiyou. And that is a way to really connect with the bioenergetics of our planet. In this meditation, short connection, I'm gonna give us a visual opportunity to actually ground to Earth consciousness, Gaia. I like the word Gaia. It can also often, we refer to her as the Earth Mother or Pachamama in South America. And this is like the auric field or the vibrational frequency of our planet, which, as we know, is going more quickly. It's a higher vibration. What I believe is that Earth is ascending. And by that, I mean moving into fourth and fifth dimension, moving into higher frequencies. In all truth, it's already there. But there is also a process going on that we get to be a part of. And I've been telling so many of my clients lately, hey, you want to ascend? First, let's figure out what the hell do you mean by that. But let's just say ascend means become more conscious, become more in the fifth dimension, in the higher frequencies. The fastest way, the magic carpet ride, is to ground to Gaia, connect to the frequencies of this planet, because she's doing it. She is doing it, and she is guiding each of us, and we just get to get out of our own way because it is innate, it is natural, and it's why we're all here. And I know that's what we've been talking about today, and we're hearing it in so many different ways from so many different speakers. All right, let's do this little meditation grounding activity, and I will invite you to close your eyes, because this is a visualization, and this is something you can do anytime when you're ready to really feel yourself in your body, when you're ready to really bring yourself into form, physicality, and also create more space in your body. This will stabilize your frequency, create a calm, and give you a nice upliftment. So I want you to imagine yourself standing on the earth, somewhere beautiful in nature, with your bare feet on earth. And in front of you, about a couple inches above the earth, there is a disc. This can be a crystal, a rock, a stone, a piece of wood, whatever you see, a disc, a nice platform that you step upon. It's just one little step, stepping onto the disc and feeling your feet connecting to this structure, this platform, this natural substance. It is solid, and you feel grounded and solid on it. Feel your body relax, and physically here in the space while you're doing the meditation, you simultaneously are aware of your body and relaxing your shoulders, tuning into your breath and letting your spine elongate naturally. And now experiencing that same sensation on the disc. And very slowly it elevates to about 18 inches, hovering above the earth. You are now into the auric field of the earth. And you're solid and you're grounded. Bring your attention to your solar plexus, the beautiful golden light, the radiance of power, personal power and strength. And repeat to yourself, my will and thy will are one, aligning all your energy centers and feeling this golden light. And from the golden light, let there be this light descending now down through your sacral chakra, through your root chakra, down into the disc, down through your legs, and also a central column, touching into that disc, and out from there, roots are forming, and they're connecting into the auric field of earth. Feel yourself rooting into the vibrational energy of Gaia. Let yourself feel this. What sensations arise? Through your solar plexus and central column, down your legs, sprouting roots, connecting to the consciousness of ascension, of evolution, of the natural flow of awakening, of unity consciousness and synergy with all that is, all life. Maybe you feel some tingling in your body. Very, very aware and conscious of these lower energy centers. And let my voice be your voice. as we say, I am safe. I am grounded. I am grounded in Gaia, at peace in my body and in the flow of synchronicity, at one with all that is, trusting my innate ability to heal, feeling myself in my human form, and so grateful. I am so grateful to be alive. And let this peace and this vibration fill your body now. And ever so slowly, you're hovering the device. It moves down closer and closer to the earth's surface until it's just one little inch above earth, and you step down with your feet touching the beautiful planet where we live. And you feel a sense of oneness and sparkle. The colors are brighter. Your body is revitalized. And there is a sense of security and stability in this frequency. Taking a few deep breaths. Bringing your awareness to your physical body here, wherever you are now. Giving thanks for that experience of your mind's eye, of your visualization. Coming into this physical form and wiggling your toes and your fingers. Stretching your body lightly, moving your body however it wants to be moved. Let your body move just a little bit. Maybe your hips sway. Taking a deep breath in. I do invite you, if you're in a place where you can, to lift your hands up, up and stretch your body. You can have your eyes open or closed, stretching up with the right side, stretching up with the left side. Bringing the hands down into prayer and placing them on your heart, and we'll open our eyes if they're not already. Opening to this place, this time, this space. I'm curious if anyone would be so willing to share how that was for them. Either go off of mute or type in chat. Was there a specific sensation that happened for anyone that you'd like to share? I know as I explore this, Beverly, are you going to say something?
I am. I didn't know I could travel multidimensionally so quickly as that. And I came back very refreshed. Thank you.
Oh, good. Yeah. I feel really refreshed too. And that's when I like to do it. But whenever there's just too much energy, any doubt, anxiety, any of those common spaced out energies or feelings, it is a great way to ground. And it's a great way to ground to a pure energy. Dawn says, wow, great, cool. And, I do my very best. And I know we all do that when we are sharing and speaking and being with each other, that it is not the words as much as it is the energy. So my intention today is to transmit and transfer pure love and that frequency. And so my prayers and all of my prep for being here on Wesak with each and every one of you, live or listening, is that you experience something, a change inside of you. Yeah. Thank you, Amare. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing this blessing. Yeah. I really enjoy this way of connecting to Gaia. So we're grounded. And that's good, because I want to talk about some spiritual things in a real earthy way. And some of you know me pretty well, which is what's fun about this group, as a business trainer. And yes, indeed, that's one of my favorite things to do. And I'll tell you why I love helping people with their businesses so much. Because one, I only work with holistic practitioners, spiritual entrepreneurs, change agents. I work with people who are making a difference on the planet. Some of my current clients are just blowing me away with their projects, documentaries for the planet. I mean, lots of sacred activism. And so I love my work because I get to, by supporting these individuals, support causes I believe in. I also really love business, and I love supporting entrepreneurs because this is how we bring our soul inspiration to life for so many of us. These are the ways that we do make a difference, and we bring our spirituality to form. So it's a very creative thing, and it's a very purposeful thing to have a business, to share our services. And so you know me as a lot of you know me as that, right? The Women's Business Center. And then on the other flip side, some of you know me from the workshops I've done, or the book I wrote on inspiration, which is, you know, years and years and years of spiritual study and somatic healing. My first profession was as a massage therapist, Jinshin practitioner, and Reiki, and really did a lot of intuitive healing and emotional healing for people in Scottsdale, Arizona, and in Mount Shasta. So today, let's see if we can walk with our feet on the ground and be the mystics that we are. And that's what we're meant to be doing, I believe, on the planet right now, more than anything. You know, we came here to, the way I look at it, there's 3 reasons why our souls are in these earth suits. And I like to call them earth suits, just it adds a little humor to the whole game called Planet Earth and what we're up to. But why are we here? And I believe the soul is here for 3 reasons. 1, to experience. And by that, I mean the sensations, the physical sensations and the opportunities to be with one another on this green blue planet, to experience emotions, to experience relationships, to experience beauty, to experience drinking water, to experience the majesty of this incredible, miraculous place. 2, for soul growth. And so much of that is pre-planned. And that's it. That's really the name of the game, is soul evolution. And as we all know, I'm looking around at who's here, you know, there's a long line of souls saying, Earth, please, Earth, 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 let me be in duality and see if I can transcend it. Let me see if I can dance in polarity. And before we come here, you know, we're all gung-ho and we're gonna remember. And there's a little amnesia at times living on Earth, but that is part of our soul growth. And having the hard times, and I talk about it actually in my book, Wisdom 6 is choose gratitude. And the big mantra there is thank you, everything, especially when times are difficult. Thank you for this opportunity to grow. Thank you for the gift. And I've had my fair share of disruptions and disappointments and loss in my life. And every single one has become a catalyst for my soul evolution. I've grown in compassion and empathy and integrity. And so our soul growth sometimes requires that we go through challenging times. And I mean, every single one of us, in fact, let's just do it. Think of one challenging time in your life. And it can be 20 years ago, yesterday, or 50 years ago, but something that was like a big challenging time in your life. And what did you learn? And wasn't it an amazing catalyst for transformation and growth? And so we call these things in, and I'm hoping each of you are pulling from your background and, oh yeah. And actually to remember these experiences and what we learn from them is so empowering. And to take full responsibility for all the choices we have made in our life. So there's no blame and there's no shame, but we're not pointing our finger and we're saying, I called that in. I asked for that. My soul asked for that. And the more and more we take responsibility for ourselves and our own lives, the more we are in our power and we are learning and growing and becoming more evolved souls to the point where we just began identifying as the soul. And the 3rd reason we are here, so experience, learn, Anyone guess? To serve. Because we are, and I heard it last night, so many of us are star seeds. We came here to be a part of sacred activism. We came here to be a part of the change, to be the way showers or the pioneers of consciousness, to be the trailblazers, and to help other people. And I think that's why some of us have had difficult pasts or aspects of our past that were challenging, because we have gone through them and have come to this evolution of awareness and consciousness and peace within. And when we can do that, it's so much easier to be able to hold space for others to do that. And I didn't say that we do it for people. I said hold space for others to do that. And I feel like pausing for a moment there because it's really profound. It is so natural and innate. Our souls are here to, number 2, evolve. Guess what? We are wired for that. Every single person on the planet has an inclination towards coming into unity, consciousness, and oneness. And really, what every soul and personality craves is to be held in presence. Because when we hold loving presence for ourselves and other people, and there is a curiosity, the one who is suffering, the one in front of us, maybe our client, maybe our friend, maybe someone in our family, maybe a stranger, but are accepting of them as they are and are asking empowering questions and are holding that space to let them unwind, they will bring themselves back home, because that's where we're all headed. And that's why we're here. So we're here for 3 reasons. As I see it, this is philosophy of joy. We are here as souls to experience. We are here as souls to learn and evolve, because woohoo, it's kind of fun to evolve into wholeness as perpetual students, and then to give and serve. Okay. So I have a few things I want to cover today. How is everyone doing? I see lots of still faces. Most of you are off camera, but that's okay. You're listening. We're here. I'm going to share my screen. I made some PowerPoint notes because I did want to make sure that I somewhat follow a sequence today. We did our grounding to Gaia. I'll define some terms, mostly just so you understand what I mean when I'm going through this presentation on how to live a more soul-inspired life. I want to define soul as the drop of the ocean. The soul is the drop, the ocean is source or spirit. So when I say soul, it is the individuated, it is the signature essence, it is our true nature. It is our essential self. It is what we take with us when we die. And we live in a culture that grooms us to identify so much with our bodies, our credentials, our bank accounts, our roles. But we are choosing in this evolution on the planet at this time to become souls in human form, souls with earth suits. And I don't know about you listening here, but I've been finding myself lately speaking more from a soul perspective, definitely thinking and feeling more from a soul perspective, which means there is a much wider understanding of the benevolence of my life and everything in it, and my connection to everything in it. And so spirit or source or divine or the unified field or God, if I use those terms, they're all interchangeable. Ultimately, we're all headed there. We're all a part of that. Want to define the term inspiration. So inspiration can be defined as just that spark to do something, that impulse, that idea, that muse that comes into you to take action, to realize something. Now, I also like to say that inspiration is in spirit. The word itself has so many clues. So to be inspired is to be in spirit, to be the drop in the ocean. Inspiration also in the dictionary, the second definition is to take in breath. And so while we're on the subject of breath, I'm going to invite us all to take a couple deep breaths again. So take a deep breath in. That's your inspiration, and a deep breath out. Exhalation. And breathing in again, inspiration. And breathing out, exhalation. Now this time I want you to take a nice big deep, deep inhale, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in. Now hold your breath. Hold your breath. Keep holding. Hold it. And when you absolutely need to, let it go. So how, maybe some of you are still holding your breath. If you are, I encourage you to, but how does it feel to hold your breath? How does it feel? It actually can be a little agonizing. It can be difficult to hold the breath. And there's a reason for that. We're not meant to hold our breath all the time. I love what Maya Angelou says. There's no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside of you. So when we receive inspiration, when we get those impulses, those beautiful inspired thoughts, they are to be expressed. Inspiration comes in, and it is the vertical line. And Emma talked a little bit about the vertical line last night, and I loved it when you did, because I so resonate with how important it is to align with the divine in the vertical line. This is the line of inspiration. The vertical line, I am, is each and every one of our energy centers or chakras lining up with spirit and grounding to Gaia, connecting to the cosmos. This is our relationship with self. This is our relationship with spirit. This is how we run energy. And then the horizontal line, if you take your arms and stretch them out, this horizontal line is the line and the dimension and the area of expression. This is us being in the world. This is where we are relational. This is where we are doing things. This is where we literally give, right hand outstretched, and receive, left hand outstretched, love. So I love the mantra. It's become like my purpose, my personal mission. I align to the divine, and I give and receive love. And when I say that, I see the vertical line. I align to the divine. That's where it starts. I get my inspiration. I get my grounding. I'm here. All energy centers are lining up and pure. And this is such a great practice. If you don't spin or clear your chakras daily, it's as good as brushing your teeth. So you can actually do it while you're brushing your teeth. So I align with the divine, and I give and I receive love. And I give and receive love through creativity, through expression, through the horizontal, through the relational. Now, where those lines intersect, you can see, you can feel, you can hold it or point to it. It's your heart, your choice point. This is our center of discernment. Not everything that we get as an inspiration is ours to do. You know, we would be wild and crazy and scattered if we did all of our inspirations. So inspiration comes in, the muse is speaking to us, we feel into it, we go to the heart, is this mine to do? And when it's a yes, then we begin to do that inspiration in the world. We express, and that happens through the heart. So I mentioned that inspiration is in spirit. The way I feel that I experience inspiration differently than intuition. So let me talk about these two terms. To me, intuition is coming through the third eye mostly, but it's also very much in every energy center. The third eye is where we get a lot of our psychic abilities, our heart senses, our gut, our solar plexus. We can become intuitive in all of these centers where we feel, sense, know, hear messages that are often guiding us. They're a guidance system. Inspiration is such a subtle energy. So while intuition might be clairvoyant to see, clairaudient to hear, clairsentient to sense, claircognizance to know, inspiration is such a subtle frequency, and it comes through the crown and the Alta Major. And if you probably most of you know about the Alta Major, but it's back here. It's a minor chakra. It's actually connected to the throat chakra, and it's in the back of your skull and the occipital ridge in that little soft area. And there are a lot of lines between the throat, the Alta Major, the third eye, and the crown center. These are important pathways to clear, but this back part of the Alta Major is another access entry point for divine knowing, divine intelligence. And it often comes in not even in images or words. It's energy. It's such a subtle frequency. So as we are getting more aware and accustomed and able to articulate subtle energies, we might then let them come through the crown and the Alta Major, and then let them move through us through whatever creative form we choose to, or healing frequency we choose to channel it through. It's really inspiration at its highest level, divine inspiration, and to live a soul-inspired life is really to live a spiritual inspired life and an individuated soul-inspired life. And it is an art and a discipline and a discipleship. And it's different than what we've been taught. And so my experience of living soul inspired, I know when I'm in my soul and I know when I'm in my personality. When I'm in my soul, I feel very peaceful. I know it's all always going to work out. There isn't worry. There's more of a flow state. I'm just feeling more like a instrument, right? There's synchronicity. I'm utilizing my soul gifts, and I have tremendous perspective. When I am living from my personality, and I call that being personality driven. So we can live soul inspired or personality driven. When I'm in my personality, then I'm tapped into more of the human animal of the earth suit. And by the way, it's not good or bad. That's why I have the thumbs up and down. All of these personality pieces are imperative. I mean, we chose to come here to experience, right? Experience what? Experience a personality, experience an ego. The more we're coming from our soul, the more we infuse our personality with love, light, purity, divinity. We have a personality and we really want to enlighten and utilize it. And we have human animal survival instincts, and we might as well come to love them. They do not lead our life, those instincts, but human survival has a fear mechanism for a reason, and it's because the human is afraid to die. The soul's never going to die. We know that it's eternal, but the human aspect of us is actually supposed to be keeping an eye out for the tiger. Unfortunately, we live in such a stressful, weird, crazy, insane world that the fear mechanism and the adrenaline and these fight or flight mechanisms are just going off way entirely too much. So the human animal personality is driving life or motivating choices. And that's what we want to look out for. So personality driven living, it's living from our programs, i.e., our conditions that we were raised with, those beliefs that are sometimes insidious and repetitive, that take us in some negative spirals and lower vibrations of emotion. Our lineage, which is so real, right? So much of the personality, the DNA, the genetics, the physical body is really responding to things that happened many, many generations before. And these stories. And our personality also includes our character traits. So once again, these are good, these are bad, these are neither. We get to choose what programs we want. We get to choose what beliefs we keep. We get to choose how we heal the patterns of the lineage. We get to choose the stories and interpretations we tell ourselves, and we get to choose which beautiful characteristic traits we want to refine. And in fact, that actually is something that my spiritual teacher, David, he just emphasized so often. And some of you have, oh, it's 333, it was. Some of you have read my book, so you've heard me talk about David, the incredible Jewish rabbi that I met in Scottsdale, Arizona. I happened upon him when I was 23, and I was a seeker. I was on my way to Flagstaff to study herbology with Peter Bigfoot, and I was invited to attend a meditation with a Jewish rabbi. And I thought, well, okay, why not? I'm a seeker of truth. And in my first experience with this quite Christed, energetic being, I felt my soul in a real tangible way for the first time. I felt my aura, and I couldn't move my body for many minutes. I was under a beautiful influence of love. And so I studied for 5 years, never made it to Peter Bigfoot. I studied with my Jewish rabbi and community in Scottsdale, doing meditation and prayer and studying spiritual truths. But one thing that David would talk to us about is how many people came to him wanting to grow their spiritual gifts and their esoteric abilities, and how often people are praying for more power, more spiritual awareness. And he would caution us. He's like, you can pray for that, absolutely, but might be better to pray to refine your character. And what he was pointing to, and what he was inviting us to, and I'm inviting myself and you to today, is the more that we refine our character, our personality, our physical form, in other words, we have a healthy vessel and vehicle, we focus on integrity, truth-telling, we have good morals, we're kind, we have a clean house, we are up to date with our life and our finances, we don't owe anyone anything. You know, we've got our life in order. This is so essential, because when we pray for power and spiritual abilities and they start flooding and coming in, guess what happens? Everything is brought to light that isn't love. And the more of a mess, the more skeletons in the closet, the more life can get really crazy, chaotic, and disruptive. And refining the character, creating the vessel, creating the home and the life and the stability and the physical body that's able then to bring in that frequency is going to be a smoother ride. And we've all heard about people having Kundalini awakenings that were uncomfortable. This is what we're talking about. So the soul and the personality in concert, the personality in service to the soul, a refined personality, a kind and loving character, a person who is good to their word, so that the energy of the soul, as more and more of our soul frequency inhabits the physical body, it's more graceful. Then what gets highlighted? Our love, I'm gonna cry, our sincerity, our compassion. And when we've created a certain amount of structure in our lives, that from that we can give and serve more people, We become those vessels. We become those change agents. We are those avatars. And we are living soul inspired. We are inspiring others from our soul center through our personality. So the work of a spiritual seeker, a pilgrim of consciousness, is as much reconciling the bank account as it is praying every morning. And these are the times we're living in, where this is all very essential. It's really, I believe, very essential that we have more and more models of really beautiful, good people on the planet, clean personalities, because it's really the name of the game. So the name of the game right now is basically shadow land. It's happening for all of us. So back to Gaia ascending, right? The vibration is increasing. So we're all getting more of the energy. We don't even have to pray for it. It's happening. So we're getting more of the spiritual, vibrational upliftment of energy. And so whatever is left inside that is stuck or has not been digested, has not been assimilated or integrated from our past, from our lineage, these emotions of scarcity, guilt, shame, fear, those are the big ones I see. I've been working lately a lot with guilt, noticing how often I feel guilty. Guilty for saying no, guilty for being me, guilty for needing to take a nap, guilty for eating chocolate, whatever, any reason to feel guilt, because it hasn't cleared until it does, right? But those energies and those emotions are all surfacing for all of us right now. And a lot of people are going through difficult times, and life circumstances are also showing up to help support us in seeing what we haven't resolved, what we haven't integrated, what we haven't assimilated, what we haven't brought loving presence to. And so we bring our loving presence and we let these energies move and express. We clear them. And there's so many modalities for clearing them that we all know, these healing modalities. Just being in the presence of each other is one of them. Speaking and expressing and writing is another way to clear. Tapping, EFT, walking, nature, crying, emoting. And we're clearing our shadows. We're clearing our shame collectively. And whatever we do for ourselves, we do for our lineage, and we do for the planet, and we do for each other. And I really do know that that is astrologically, energetically predicted. It's what we're up to because it has to be. And the more that Gaia is moving into these higher frequencies, there will be people that just won't be able to withstand the energy of this ascension, of this waking up. And so it is ours to bask in the higher realms of consciousness while at least bringing presence to anything that surfaces. And when it surfaces, and this is the key, this is going to be kind of the final point here. When the shadow, the fear, the anger, the confusion, the whatever surfaces, it is often a feeling, and it comes with stories and beliefs. So we notice it and we say, thank you for releasing. We do not entertain the stories. We do not believe in the beliefs that are going back to the old pattern. We notice and we release, and we say, thank you. With love, I release you. With love, I release you. And that might take one moment, and it might take a day or 2 hours, and it might take sitting down and laying down, and it might take a little bit of emoting and pouting, or it might take a witness of a friend to be able to have someone present while we unwind and release these aspects of self. Thank you. Thank you for releasing. Thank you for letting go. I often say that expression is the medicine. Expression is the medicine for depression. when we depress and we repress our feelings and emotions, they are stuck, and that causes depression. And the way through depression is expression. And a really gentle way for that is to have these conscious friends that are willing to listen and witness and see you express, knowing it's not who you are, but it is stuck inside and wants to be let free. Which is part of why I'm actually offering this writer's circle coming up here in May, is because my partner Sage and I are doing this together. My facilitator partner, business partner, a dear, dear sister from Maui. And we're doing it online and inviting the opportunity for soul expression and personality expression and shadow expression to come through writing and be held in sacred witness, so that we can move forward in this delicious, precious life that we're all here to live at this time. Because then what happens is we start shining our soul light. In other words, we have a big smile on our face. We enjoy each other. We go into town and stop in Berryvale and we're singing a song, and we run into the right person at the right time because we're in the right flow. And we recognize each other. We get to see our soul tribe. And I just so encourage my clients these days, like, do your work. It needs to be authentic, but when you are wanting to shine your light and your brilliance, don't hold back. Shine your light unapologetically, untamed. Because, and it can be subtle, by the way, it doesn't mean that you're loud and wear bright colors. It can just be that you're really in a stillness, but you're letting it emanate. That's when our soul family finds us. That's when we're attracted to our soul tribe, and our soul tribe are the people that are going to catapult us into higher consciousness and our purpose. They're going to help us learn and give. They're going to help us fulfill the reason that we're here. So we want to shine our lights from a soul inspired place with each other, with strangers. And most importantly, because we're living in a time of such well, something I'm seeing in a lot of people is a feeling of separation and isolation. And so shining that light and letting it nurture ourselves. And I'm going to invite you to hug yourself right now, actually, and gently give yourself a little pat. It can be your arms, it can be your leg, but just give yourself a little stroke, because our sensory receptors, when we do this, we don't know if it's us or someone else. We just know it feels good. And we're meant to feel good and feel loved and feel happy. And this is how we really fuel the flame of that light that is wanting to shine. So hug yourself, hold yourself. And I want to thank you all for coming together. The writer's circle, it's called the Creator Circle. Someone asked about it. It's at my website, A Soul Inspired Life, and I can actually put it into the chat. And I want to give you all 10% off. So if you use the code JOY10 and you're interested, be so fun to have you. I'm thrilled about the women who are showing up to share with each other. And actually, a lot of you are writers and have written books too. So we're going to be sharing our writing with each other, which is such a great way to move a project forward, that accountability. And it's a 5-month container. So it was really designed for anyone who loves writing, wants to write, wants to get in touch with their soul frequency, but also side benefit for anyone who's writing a book. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity to just keep moving forward on that. So I'll put it in the chat. And are there any questions? We've got like 3 minutes until my time is up. Are there any comments? You can put them in the chat, or thank you, Joy, lovely. Oh, thank you, Janet. It's my intention and prayer to shine my light. The writers group sounds great. Jackie, oh, cool. Oh, great. Yay. Yeah. And you're welcome to just email me if you have any questions. And so Joy 10 is the 10% off. All right. Well, yeah, thank you. Lovely to be here. And I love that, Julia. I'm a CPA. I use many of your concepts, yeah, with my clients. Yeah, get your money in order, because when the Kundalini comes, you want to make sure you got your bank account in order. You don't owe anyone. You don't, you're honest with your money. That's great. All right. I'm curious, anyone want to put in chat what was like one thing that you got from the talk? And the reason I'm asking too is it helps everyone else. Like it's a little bit of a review. So just one like key, a quote, a statement, a takeaway. And we'll end with those reminders that we can read off and share with each other. The chakra at the back of the head. Oh yeah, alto major. You can look online. It's pretty fascinating. And then clean it, energetically. It gets dusty, and there's a reason we weren't told about it, probably, right? But now that these mystery teachings are being out in the world, it's, I believe, a real big important key to getting the downloads, the new information, our instructions on what's ours to do. On the new earth. Yeah. I so agree that we need to refine our character. Yeah. As we get these energy upgrades. Yeah, well said. Deeper love of self. Yep. And a willingness to be seen. Oh my God, please. Yes, because you're beautiful. I loved your talk last night. Vertical, horizontal alignment at the heart. We are the Holy Cross. We are the Holy Cross. All right. Well, fantastic. And so it is. It's 10 till, another 10-minute break. Or who am I passing the baton to? Beverly, is it your turn?
It is I. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. God bless.
Hey, Joy, thanks so much. That was wonderful and really, really meaningful bites that we can chew on for a while we're on our magic carpet ride.
I'll see you in town. We're all going to be hovering on our disc. We're like hovering through town.
Well, I'm practicing by locating, so I'll see you eventually. I'm in North Carolina right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And for everybody else, we'll return at 4 o'clock. Greetings. We have with us today, Joanna Cherry. Hi, Joanna. Welcome. We have different sound things going on, but Joanna is a spiritual teacher who has received clear messages for decades from her I Am Presence and beautiful masters. Whenever she is guided, she shares a particular message with others. The masters she is closest with right now are the immortal Babaji, Juan Kul, Yeshua, Jesus, Mafu, Ramtha, and Saint-Germain. She aligns her heart and mind and lets things flow. Joanna is a doctor of ministerial sciences for teaching of intuitional metaphysics.
Oh, that's
nice.
nice.
A non-denominational church whose teachings are brought forward by Babaji. She founded the Ascension Mastery International and for 16 years traveled, taught workshops, and spoke at conferences around the world. She then fulfilled her master's request to gather pictures of masters, angels, and deities, and to get them far and wide into the world. Joanna is now on a spiritual retreat, serving humanity and creating her earthly spiritual journey. So welcome, Joanna.
Well, hey there to all of us. I bow to my beloved spirit, I am, and to our overlighting Mother, Father, Goddess, God of all. And thanks for this wondrous life that we are all a part of. I bless this talk, which is guided by Spirit, to be the best it can be for all of life. Our new timeline for Earth is mostly in place. We have come to within about 95% of fully joining our new Earth. A new timeline happens for a planet when you get the polarities of energy on one planet too much to really fit on one planet. This is what's happened to us. The old paradigm of war and money dominance and poverty and illness and all the other ills we have experienced was coming head to head with the awakening of us, of humanity, of Earth, more and more every day, until it came to the point where we had to change our past in order to have everything become reharmonized. And so this is what we did. Way back in 2013, a majority of us on Earth voted in our new timeline for our planet. It had to be a majority or it would not have happened, and we might be now have gone the way of Lemuria and Atlantis. But we did find a majority of light to vote for this wonderful timeline. And since then, we've gone back to change our past enormously. This is what you can do when you know that time is one. All time is one. And so we have gone back. We have changed all of the wars by basically wiping them out. They were caused mostly by the elite or the cabal, and we're not blaming anybody here. We've all been doing our best. But we were able to wipe out all of the wars of the last hundreds of years. We've been able to restore the pristine environment of our beautiful planet by never allowing pollution to take hold in the first place. We've done many other wonderful things, remarkable, beautiful changes that have resulted in an Earth that is like paradise now. After about 4 years of working in this way to change the past, we got far enough so that we chose, and it was time to manifest what we had already created, to manifest it. And with the help of our own beloved divine master selves and our beautiful master friends that have been helping us on Earth for a very long time, we actually manifested this new world, this paradisical new world, on a lighter dimension. We have been on third, and now we're upper third, nearly to fourth on Earth, and our new life is on upper fourth and nearly to fifth. So we do not see it here. All of the changes that we made, all of these things that happened were done on a very deep level of consciousness where we on the outer level do not see it. But it's on a consciousness where all of us are one. And thus we may change by agreement of our majority anything we choose to change. It's just that on the outer level, we had not caught up with that yet. We had not yet been able to see it. But in this last great step, coming within 5% of wholeness, This 5% was us wanting to keep the old earth long enough to make amends, to forgive and to be forgiven, and to release our attachments to family and to the old life, the old identity, the old self. And so that is what we've been doing in the last 3 months. But soon we will be ready to make the final step, and this will be taken all together in one single moment. We will be all here in our new life, living our new life, and we will not even be aware that this has happened, because we are simply going to slip into our new self that has already been created as we have desired, and just keep on living that life from one moment to the next. We will not remember the past, because if we did remember the past, we would not be able to have such a marvelous, paradisical new present. And so we forget the old, and that's what we're about to do now. So our new world is a living, breathing, moment to moment changing, just as our old world has been, totally real on this lighter dimension, totally physical. We haven't seen it yet, but it is here, and we are going to join it. And so the things that I'm going to share with you about how this is, these things come directly from Spirit. This is the way of our new world. And so you can know, if you choose to know, that these things are actually real and physical, and we will be stepping into them. But they've been going now for about 5 years. About 5 years. And during this 5-year period, more and more of changes have occurred to make it ever better and more wonderful, our new world, because we have continued to waken up more and more. We started out with just barely over a majority to get our new timeline going, but it reaches now to 70% and more of our population. So in our continuous and ever greater awakening, our world has changed ever more to be ever more wonderful. So I'm going to share some things with you about this beautiful new world that are real and physical. First of all, we are remembering our own divinity as never before, as we were never able to do in the old world. We've come to really know that I am the I am. I am a truly divine being. I am unlimited. I can do anything I choose to do. I may ascend in this life rather than dying. We are remembering our divine self. And part of the outcome of this is that we, in the schools we have for children, for our children of the new world, we teach them that they already know every single thing because they are part of life, part of Mother, Father, God, with their own divine, unique I am presence, and they already know everything when they looked to find it. So our schools have been about teaching our children to reach into the deep knowledge of the universe and bring it into personal consciousness. So that is the amazing thing. These schools were begun in our old world by a beautiful being, last name Shatinin, in Russia. And for him, the children designed and built their own schools It's never sitting in classroom for hour after hour, but breaking up and studying one subject and discussing and sharing and bringing in new ideas and helping each other to learn the subjects that they have learned and learning from the others in return. So this is an amazing new way, true way of education in our beautiful new world. We have a pristine environment, as I mentioned, pure waters even in our cities. The water is not used for sewage any longer. We have simply septic systems or composting systems, toilets, or whatever it is. But water, the pure, wonderful water, is left alone regarding waste, which I think is a wonderful, wonderful improvement. So the waters are pure. There is no chemical, poison, or fertilizer or pesticide to mess with the waters or the earth. And there's no smoke of factories to mess with our air. There are some factories, but they do not pollute. And so we have this wonderful, pristine environment, pure air, drinking in pollen, breathing in pollen, so health-giving, life-giving, pure waters to drink, pure earth to grow our food in. It's what a wonderful, beautiful change from how it used to be. There are no freeways. There are even no paved roads. We do not need them. We live in a rural environment with other ways of getting around, which I will get to as we go along. Our weather is now moderate. We have plenty of rainfall, plenty of sunlight, plenty of warmth, and plenty of cool. There are no more typhoons, hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, floods, any of those things any longer, because all of these things in our old world came from the dissonance, the disharmony of human consciousness, because we are the divine force upon this planet, and our word is law. And so in all of our troubles and dissonance, our weather simply obeyed and reflected this back to us in our past. So our new weather is so wonderful. And to help this out, an enormous change has happened for our forests. In our old world, we had about 3% left of old growth forests. In our new world, we have about 97% old growth forests. There are no lumbering companies. We're not dominated by money any longer. Trees are not cut to be paper, to be used and discarded like with napkins or paper towels or all of that kind of, even toilet paper. We have found different ways. We do not use paper the way we used to, therefore we do not cut trees down the way we used to. Also on our lands, on our individual family domains, we have forests. That's a part of the plan of the family domains. And we can use the wood of our own trees when we need to build our homes or any other purposes that we have. Our family domains are based upon usually about 2.5 acres. And this information comes direct to us from Anastasia's books, the Ringing Cedar series that her true love and twin flame Vladimir Maigret wrote and got out into the world. So these are ways we used to live on earth, which were paradisical and which have begun to be reestablished in these past 30 years or so since her information has come forward. So a family domain is a way of creating paradise people who love each other, a loving couple, come together, choose a space of land. Land is free. Land is free in our new life. So they choose the land they desire, usually as part of a community with other people. They plant a green fence around it. There's no crime in the New World, so we don't have to erect these big walls and fences as we did in the old life. So berry bushes or saplings or however we want to plant our green fence, just to say, just to denote our own space. We have our own source of water. We can form our own electricity through wind, through water, through whatever means, through sunlight, solar. If we desire to have electricity, we have our home, small or large as we choose. We grow all of our own crops, our fruit, our vegetables, our herbs. We grow wonderful flowers. And when our children are born, we raise them as the deities that they are, the wonderful, beautiful, divine beings, that we let them know this from the very beginning. In the womb, both the mother and the father talk so lovingly to the fetus because we are God beings in the fetus state. And so we can hear and we can take in what is said to us by our beloved parents. So it is an entirely different and wonderful, wonderful life. About 60% of our new world is in these beautiful family domains. What a difference, eh? There are cities, there are towns, but the largest of them is about 20,000 people instead of 20 million people. And so our environment is rural. We even use horse and buggies still. Our roads are dirt roads, but we have other technologies of getting around which are wonderful, which I will also be sharing with you. Our health is perfect for almost all of us because we are happy, we are whole, we are in spirit. And that is all that has been missing for our health in the old world. When we are one with spirit, when we are joyful, when we are free and clear, because we will have forgotten all of our troubles of our old life and old world and old selves. And so in this forgetting and choosing our new paradisical life, we also have completely healthy bodies. If there is anything that goes wrong, it is cured by our local herbalist. There are no hospitals. There are no of the other old kinds of doctors with the medicines, but there still are people who know how to, set bones or even do surgeries if that is necessary, but it is almost never necessary. So our health is so wonderful. We're strong, we're vibrant, and we live for a long time and even into foreverness, which we are coming to also soon. There are also no railroads. I forgot to mention that. I'm keeping a little eye on my computer here. No freeways, roads, or railroads. Our emotional health and mental health are also very sound and wonderful. They go right along with our beautiful and totally healthy forms. So it is a great new life that we are living. We have much of creativity since our family domains take up little of our energy or time to grow our crops, our flowers, to keep it maintained. And so we have plenty of time to be creative in any way that we choose. Many of us will be creating our beautiful tools that we use in life, our utensils, our dishes, our pots and pans, our clothes, by hand or simply as we are shown by our own divine spirit. Foods, maybe learn how to do particular foods and share these, all of our creations, with others. We may create dramas, we may create plays, we may create songs and sing these, or dances and share these. With the family domain communities, there are many festivities in which we share and trade. Money has about 2% of the power that it had in our old world. Almost everything is trading and bartering. And so if I've got some wonderful food here, some beautiful pickles I've canned up and put in jars, and I want to hear your song, then we trade. So it's such a wonderful, joyful, generous, open and free way of living that we did not know very much of before. There also are larger auditoriums, like in our cities, where someone who wants to create a drama with a larger audience can do that. There's no problem with that. We have songs and dances. We gather together for singing and for joy, for dancing together, for plays and dramas. And so this can be very small venues, like within a family domain, or can be very large venues. So these are wonderful outlets for our creativity. There's ballet. I understand there's still ballet, dancing troops. They might still travel around and take their gifts all around. So there's no end to creativity. There's even restaurants in the cities, especially, where the people that love to cook and love to share their food, they do that. And there is some money exchange, and it's very generous. And if there is a business, people are hired and paid wonderfully well and are considered equal with the owner, and everyone participates in the decisions that are made. So there are quite a number of businesses that do pay people very generously, and people work as much as they want to work. We are free. We are free. No one works for money. We may work doing what we love to do and be wonderfully remunerated for that. One humongous change that has come into our new world is that the continent of Lemuria, or Mu, never sank. We have recreated that so that Lemuria stayed always above board, above the ocean, and so is still here with us. Now, in our old life, when Lemuria did sink, many of the people who realized it was going to sink retired and formed underground cities, about 26 of these. One of them was our own Telos in Mount Shasta, which is right over that way, since we're speaking from Mount Shasta here. So this wonderful, just lost my track of thought there. So Lemuria, Telos in Mount Shasta was one of the Lemurian cities. And in these Lemurian cities, people were immortal. And they also developed some wonderful, wonderful technologies. The monorail, I'll be talking about more of that later, ways to disappear their waste, ways for a person to, with a little gadget, to fly through the air. and they were governed by ascended masters. They had a group of 12 ascended masters, 6, if I'm remembering right, maybe it's 12 of each, but I'm remembering 6 men and 6 women. And the head of them was the master Adama. And each of the Lemurian cities, as far as I understand, had a very similar thing. We were guided, we were not ruled, we were guided by masterful beings of great, great love who were for the highest good of all of their people and all of life, inside and outside of their cities. And so the Lemurian people, they got us started with, I'm supposed to have a little note to myself to hold up a piece of paper right now, so I'll do that. I wanted to let you know, I have to get this right in the camera, that on my website, I have an article. The website is ascensionmastery.com under articles. And the article that I have there about Telos is called Telos, the Lemurian City Inside Mount Shasta. So if you're interested to learn more about Telos, the information comes directly from a Telosian who created a couple of cassette tapes, and with her permission, her name is Sharula Dukes, with her permission, I made up an article in the form of an interview with her, and this is what is on my website. There are also many other articles if you are interested in those. So Lemuria never sank, and where it covers is out from the western coast of the United States, going west about 1/3 of the Pacific Ocean, and down to encompass Hawaii, which was in Lemuria. And so it's quite a large area. We don't have San Francisco or like that anymore on the ocean. We do not have a west coast. Of course, there's a west coast of Lemuria, but it's somewhat 1,500 miles or so further out. We still have our east coast of the United States. But Lemuria was now the United States also, so I call it American Lemuria. And to me, that's kind of the hot spot of development and learning and evolvement, spiritual evolvement of our new world. I'm probably wrong about that. It's probably just because that's where I am and a number of people that I happen to know. Okay, let's see where we are here. So as I said, the Lemurians gave us a boost up or a head start for our new world to be immortal. Immortality is God's plan. Immortality is natural life. It was never part of life for us to age our bodies or to die our bodies. We made that up because we forgot who we are. We forgot our unlimitedness. We forgot our divinity. We forgot our natural ability to live forever, and not only live forever, but in youthful beauty. And so the fact that the Lemurians, who are now on land with us, they're not in their cities anymore, that so many of them are immortal, then it is helping all of us to remember, oh my gosh, this is part of my own divinity as well. I can do this as well. Okay, I think I will do that. And so we are rapidly becoming a world of immortals. That is a very great and wondrous gift that the Lemurians have given us, and we are very thankful to them for that. Another thing that So ways of mastery, not only immortality, but other ways of mastery are coming our way, are beginning to be taught in our new world and are beginning to be practiced. Another of these is travel by thought. In other words, we are able to spin up the frequencies of our form, think of where we choose to be, where we choose to go, and be there with our whole physical body. That is a natural ability for a master. And each of us, we have a goal now of a world of masters for our new life, for our new world. And so this travel by thought is already being taught and beginning to be practiced by anyone. Teachings are all free by anyone who chooses to tune in and to do this. Another one of the powers is ascension. And that is that if we choose, if we are an immortal being, and we choose to, or mortal, if we stay mortal, and we are leaving our body behind, then it doesn't die. We simply, that was a wrong phrase. We don't leave our body behind. We take it up into a lighter frequency and then go wherever new place we want to go. If we've spent a couple thousand years on Earth as an immortal being, or been born over and over again as a mortal being, in any case, when we are ready for a different scenario, we can take our bodies up into a higher frequency and know how to place it from our divine spirit, which will help us with that, to place it where it is we choose to go, our next place of being. So ascension is another one of our natural abilities that we are relearning, because all of us have been great beings. We've been gods and goddesses before we came into limitation. And so we are simply bringing these things back to our awareness, our consciousness now. Another one of our natural abilities is manifestation. We can learn to manifest anything we choose from the air, from ethers. This includes gold, includes money, even. It includes a home. If we're standing there in front of where we want our home to be erected and we've envisioned it very, very clearly, and we have learned how to do this, because there is some learning involved, relearning, then we can go, boom, there it is. We don't have to build it. And we can tweak it. I like this, but I don't like that. So, okay, we're changing that right now. So manifestation is one of our natural abilities that we are relearning. And also demanifestation. If we have waste, we can just disappear it. So it's pretty amazing. A wonderful ability. One of the wonderful things about our world, make sure I've gotten everything I wanted to say there. Yeah, I think so. Okay, is that we have a place called Porthologos, which is a place where you can learn, you can know anything. They have books, I think they have books, but the main focus is, for most people who go into it, that you can choose to see anything from anywhere of the past. I don't think it's true of the future, but of the past, or of any other place, not only on Earth, but throughout our solar system, on the sun itself, throughout all of the third dimensional and the fourth dimensional universes. We can know anything just by being there to see it, to watch it. So it's an absolutely amazing thing. There's also a Porthologos in the inner earth, and I'll be talking a little bit more about that later. Our transportation is pretty amazing. It's not just horse and buggy, but the Lemurians had developed a monorail system, and they learned how to bring such humongous heat that they would melt rock to the width required of a tunnel for a monorail to go in, and then seal that space off so that it's even flexible in spite of being adamantine in its hardness. No earthquakes will touch it. And so these tunnels, and it's very easy and fast. They just go, and the tunnels are formed, and then a monorail is probably created by thought, knowing that these were Telosians. And these monorails are now not only underground, but above ground, and they zip along about 300 miles per hour. And they have a kind of an electromagnetic field around them. So even though they don't try to make everything flat like we did our freeways and stuff. They just go up and down the hills and around the curves. And you're totally stable in your seat. You're not rocking back and forth and being jolted around. It's very calm and very serene and wonderful. And the monorails are also free, and they go all over the world. And they not only go all over the world, they go into the world inside of Earth, hollow Earth, which I'll be talking about more toward the end. And the monorails not only carry people, they also carry mail and goods. So they are multi-purpose things. So you can go to stations if they try to plan the stations so they're not too far apart. So we get to a station, hop on and go anywhere we want to go around the planet. Another form of transportation, although it is not commonly used, is airplanes. And this was an Atlantean technology, as far as I understand. The Atlanteans had silent airplanes, non-polluting, and they were used for special purposes. And maybe they're very common, and I haven't seen that right. But anyway, we have these wonderful airplanes also to use. And on the ground, we have what I call zip cars. I don't know what they're called in Lemurian, because we do speak Lemurian now. But they ride along some feet above the ground, and there are spaces that are cleared so that the growth doesn't reach too high. So we go just zip. It's very fast and fun and lovely, and zip cars are easy for a person to obtain one, or there are some that you can rent. So zip cars is a very common means of transportation in our New World. We also have spaceships. Spaceships are very common. We get visitors from all kinds of other places in the universe. And I understand that the main thing that spaceships are used for now, since they're not used in wars anymore, at least not that we experience, is that we trade things like seeds so that we can grow new crops and give crops that another planet would like that they don't have, give these crops to them. So seeds is a vital thing that is traded. And also metals. Some metals are very common on one planet and maybe non-existent or very, very rare on another planet. And so metals is another thing that we trade. And the other, and probably most important thing of all, is communication, that these ships come from all over the place, And so they know what's going on all over the place in their part of the universe. So we find out what's happening. Aha, this is happening now. This planetary system or this galaxy has decided to do this or that or the other, and there's no concern there, or there is a concern there that maybe we need to address. And so the informational trade is a very important part of our being with spaceships. We have a lot of spaceships of our own, which we send out as well to other places, and a lot of visitors from Arcturus, Sirius, the Pleiades, and Andromeda, and probably other places as well. So spaceships are just a common part of life, and anybody who wants to take a ride, that's also available at any time. You can hop on a spaceship and ride around and see all kinds of wonderful things. So spaceships is part of our life. Now, one of the things, going back to monorails, is that since they can go through the earth so easily, the earth is hollow. Many people now know this. Admiral Byrd in the Second World War had the experience and had wrote about it in his own journal. And this has been published. How his experience of his plane being taken over by a friendly force that brought it in for a landing inside this hollow earth. And the leaders there asked him to talk with our leaders about discontinuing atomic energy for weaponry, because it was greatly disturbing to the entire planet, including the hollow earth. Admiral Byrd did his best to communicate that, but was shut down and told to zip his lips and never say anything about it again. The same Admiral Byrd also had, this was from the North Pole that he came in, an experience from the South Pole, because these are the entrances to the world, this inner Earth, are at the poles. But there are other entrances now which are through the monorails. So we can get on a monorail and go right through. There's a 300-mile wide stretch of land, which the outside of it is our outer Earth, and then the inside of it is the sky of our hollow Earth. Does that make sense? The hollow Earth is a sphere, and a sun sits right in the middle of the hollow Earth. There's a book called The Smoky God, about a Norwegian man and his son, a fisherman, on a small boat set sail north from Norway, and wound up through many storms and weeks later sailing right into the hollow earth, where they stayed for a couple of years. And the son, not the father died, but the son came back and wrote a book about it called The Smoky God, if you're interested in learning more about that. But it's a very wonderful world. And I wanted to tell you about a book that a beautiful friend, Diane Robbins, has written. And she asked me to show this to you today. It's called Messages from the Hollow Earth. Messages from the Hollow Earth. And her website is dianerobbins.com. And you can buy the book on the website. So I highly recommend it. She also has work on Telos and some other wonderful things to share. Oh, and just if you didn't notice, that Diane has 2 N's and Robbins has 2 B's. So that's if you're looking that up. So there's a sun in the middle of the hollow earth that turns dark for 12 hours and is light for 12 hours and just keeps on doing that forever. Thank you. 4 minutes. Thank you. And so we have a wonderful civilization there, people that are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even taller, and we are on Earth. I didn't mention that. We're much taller than we have been in our old world, usually between 10 and 12 feet tall. So they're taller in the inner world as well, and they totally is an environment without seasons because they're inside the world. So their crops and vegetables grow huge all year round, like grapes are the size of an orange. I know these things sound fantastic, but anyway, if you choose to investigate to find out more about this, that's fine. So this 300 layer of land, the center of gravity is 150 miles in. So it's pulling people on the outer, it's not the sky, excuse me, it's not the sky, it's the earth of the inner world is the other side of the 300-mile thing, and the sun is in the middle. And so it's pulling us down and pulling them toward the center, toward the outside of the earth. So it's all gravity, it's all the same gravity. Anyway, I feel like I've maybe gotten a little bit afield here in talking about the hollow earth, but it is a pretty amazing subject. I want to thank all of you for being with me and with all of us. I've so enjoyed many of the other speakers that I have been listening to, and wish every one of us the greatest blessings in experiencing our wonderful new world. We have a new self that is already here, living a magnificently joyful, wondrous life, happy life, loving life, masterful life as far as we wish to be masterful. And it is here for us to experience fully when we get this last 5% taken care of. So blessing to all of us in this wonderful new life and new world. And it's been a joy to share this with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joanna. I am really extra excited to hear about the new earth, and I now claim my new self. I'm recalibrating a bit to be right there, ready when it's time. But that was exciting description. Thank you. Okay, everybody. Now, Sahadev has an offering.
So I was recently offering kirtan chanting and finishing with some closing prayers, and it was suggested that it would be beautiful for me to offer that at the end of this conference. So I'm just going to bring up the visual that has the words on it with the simple translation, and then chant these verses in Sanskrit. And it's kind of a prayer and offering. That's always a beautiful thing. So let's see if I screen share. Can you see it?
Yes.
Is it full screen nicely enough or what? Let's see. How's that?
Yeah, it's good, Sahadev.
Okay. All right. Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarva Mama Deva Deva Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva Budyat Manava Prakritir Swabhavan Karomi Yat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeti Samarpayami. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotir Gamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace to all, love to all, light to all.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Sahadeo. There she comes. She's bringing herself in so we can say a thank you to everyone for participating in whatever way you have been participating in this wonderful Wesak event. So thank you, Bev, for being such an awesome MC and making this big connection, stepping in and presenting everyone in such a beautiful, heartfelt way. It was just lovely. You're such a good bridge. And Michaela, thank you so much for
Ditto.
well, for you and Dawn saying, let's do this thing. And then I decided to jump in the circle with you, which has been quite the experience for me. So
Yeah,
thank
and I
you.
really want to thank certainly everybody who helped directly, but all the people who felt the call to join us and share their light, their enthusiasm, and their gifts that have hidden values that we may not see directly, but we receive anyway. Just the enjoyment that they shared last night in the live section was so lovely. And every presenter was just a dream, really. It was just beautiful, soul felt, precious, really. It was so wonderful. And I want to thank all the people who signed up, and we admit, you know, I think there's a Zen thing about Zen mind, beginner's mind. Well, we've been beginners on the webinar system. And so thank you for your patience, and we will make sure that absolutely everybody gets their replays. I'm looking forward to some of those replays again and again, because some of the stuff I just felt was going to take a little bit more time and attention, and just using that pause button from time to time would be really valuable too. So I thank everybody for their kindness, their love, their generosity, everybody brought such wonderful gifts, and it's so unique. And it really was my dream that people who really understood the spiritual path and the new paradigm that's opening up would be speaking. And I really felt that was demonstrated in spades and hearts and diamonds and gloves, I guess. But wow, it's just, you know, we all knew that we were running, I don't want to say against the clock, but we were going to have to be running on divine timing, because it started a little bit late, and then there were many delays along the way. And we were assured over and over again by our masters and our teams and our higher selves that everything was going to be wonderful, and that we'd be very happy, and it was very successful. And there were moments when I don't want to say we doubted, but let's say we were, what do they call that, jerking your chain, you know? But we held on with the highest intentions, and I'm just blown away how, you know, it's one of my favorite lines is, you mean this stuff really works? Well, apparently prayer actually works. So well, thank everybody who participated from their heart and their soul.
And I would like to give special thanks to Michaela and to Emma Ray and Sahadeo, especially for Emma Ray and Sahadev's tech support. And like Emma Ray said, it was a learning curve, but boy, you know, talk about teamwork and everybody getting it together. Our fabulous presenters and you wonderful audience and listeners. Oh my goodness gracious. You all were just so wonderful. I just saw, I had a note from Michaela. Michaela, do.
Oh,
Okay,
not Kayla.
Oh,
Not Kayla?
Michaela.
Yeah,
go ahead, Michaela.
there's a friend that I haven't connected with that has, like myself, moved back to Mount Shasta, and her name is not Kayla with an N, and people often got us a little confused, although we don't look alike. And I was wondering if that was what you were saying.
No, Kayla.
Mama. Okay.
Michaela. Hey, Janet.
Okay, my darlings,
Yes.
thank you so much. You were wonderful. This love I felt with the listeners, the audience, the vibration, the synergy, the magnification of the love, light, harmony frequency throughout the world. Please remember, go outside and ground. We can do that inside too, but you know what I mean. So that this upliftment, this phenomenal presentation 2 days just gets reverberated throughout the world and cosmos. Thank you, multiverse, and thank you all of our guides. Okay.
Oh, thank you for reminding me of one thing I really wanted to say at the very end. A number of people mentioned that after a wonderful experience at a retreat or something, they can't hold the light, that it doesn't stare necessarily. And one of the reasons is because when your energies are so raised up, it brings up stuff that you can't work with anymore. And so I'm inviting everybody. We did this on last night. We intend and envision a violet flame campfire in front of you and release all that no longer serves you, because as these energies go up, there's stuff that comes up that's come to say goodbye. So we ask the angels to assist everyone who watches this and has been watching it or will watch it to release all that no longer serves you. And really, the way the energies on the planet are going, you might want to continue doing that every week or every day.
Every day it's more
that's
like it.
one of the things that most people I've been working with are experiencing is the amount of stuff that's coming up to be dealt with. And it's not always our own stuff, because there's planetary field stuff that also can't stay on the planet anymore. So we invite and invoke the angels to assist us to release all that no longer serves us, and everything that is for the planetary good. We ask that it be multiplied and expanded to clear the planetary field as well. So
Thank you, Michaela. So I'm going to jump in here and say, Janet, if you had something specifically, it's good to see you in Sahadeva, and so we'll let you pipe in and then we'll do a formal sealing of the event. So what would you, thank you, Janet.
Thank you. I just wanted to add my thanks and gratitude. The amount of work and learning curve and stress experienced by Michaela and Emma Ray and Sahadev, holding the very calm, stable field to support through that. I would like to have everyone acknowledge just how much work and time went in by volunteers. And that if you found that this session and all of the presentations inspired you, brought you new wisdom, when the team comes back and says, now the replays are available, not just to those who are entitled to them because they've purchased them, but I understand the plan will be to have an offering of the program by replay to others. I really ask for strong support, the energy of the woodpecker to broadcast, the energy of the moose to broadcast the message out. And if you felt touched and moved and received something from this, I invite you to be part of the support of the organizing group to make sure that this beautiful offering travels far and wide and reaches the people who would also benefit.
Thank you,
Oh, thank you
Janet.
so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So wonderful. So I will start with the ceiling and then whoever else wants to.
We were going to hear from Sahadev also.
Oh,
Do you
I'm
have
sorry.
something to say further?
Well, I think the closing prayer was all came from my heart, and I'm
Thank you.
happy. I just wanted to turn my camera on because I felt like I wanted to be with, at the end. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. It's brilliant to have you here, and everyone else who isn't here in camera is here in spirit for sure. And so we now call this beautiful event to a closure. We are sealing this and giving great thanks to all of the realms who participated, from the earth, from the inner dimensions, from Shambhala and Telos, the galactic family, the overlighting divas, everyone, the elements and the elementals, everyone and everything that contributed to this event and will continue to share their light and love through the videos as they are shared around the world. We give such great thanks and we honor you. We are reverent of your participation and we acknowledge you, seen or unseen. We are one with you. We see you. We love you. We are one. Thank you. Well, that was intense. Okay. Anybody else?
I just want to mention that there was a whole download coming in as you were doing that. And everybody who is going to hear this now or later, pay attention, receive the light that's flooding your body and blessing you yet again. We thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I think there's one more rather important being that we might want to,
The Buddha?
specifically call out.
Yeah,
Yes,
good idea.
I'd like to thank with my personal gratitude to the Buddha for drawing attention and guiding Michaela to the importance of the Wesak being celebrated and to become a festival that is noted and as widely observed as the Easter and that time, Passover, and all the many religions that celebrate at that time of the year, to have this one be as equally well known and provide the blessing it's meant to be, so that everyone can come together in circle and anchor the beautiful energies that we experienced here. So thank you to the Buddha.
So it is.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
and
And
so-
may I add to that an image? Would you all please join me with an image of your heart and a hologram of the heart of Mother Earth, Gaia, and create a toroidal field from that heart with our Buddha love, light, harmony, consciousness going up around us, all around the world, back to the bottom of the earth, and back up to our heart, and again 3 times, and see and feel this beautiful golden diamond white sparkling light traveling through you, through the earth, up and all around, through all the grids, touching all life. There we go. Woo, woo, woo. You feeling that?
Yep. Lovely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's great.
Beautiful. So we say goodbye for now and much love to everyone and everything. Enjoy life.